That's the red light, correct?
Red light on, yeah.
Red light on.
Okay, moving down to certificate presentation. Is that yours, Chris?
Yeah, well, it was for Charlene, but she's not here. She took that DDA training, and we were just gonna they sent me her certificate.
Okay.
I'll get it to her, or we'll do it next meeting.
All right, move on down to number 2, consideration of minutes. Has everybody taken a chance to look at our DDA minutes from our last meeting?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, do we have a motion to accept those minutes?
Oh, I got one amendment to the minutes that is typed.
Okay,
On page 3, it says that we decided to hold a call meeting on April 30th, and it was January 30th, and we actually did hold that meeting.
okay. 3:31 should be.
I have got one other thing too that I'm not certain of, and that's in the gateway signs. It says Pike said he needed the director's possessive approval to move forward. Is that supposed to be plural?
Are you asking me?
I think so, yeah.
It's supposed to be plural.
No one person has
No.
Those corrections, do we have any more?
I think that's it, Mr. Chairman.
All right, do we have a motion to accept those minutes?
that. Motion accept.
A motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor? All right, move down to number 3, financial report.
We don't have one, do we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gave everybody one. Well, for DDA, we don't have one. That's for
Oh.
Visitors Bureau,
That's
sorry.
Visitor Bureau, okay.
Because DDA, they just have, there's not a whole lot in that account. But I did want to point out one thing, because I printed it out here. The amount that we talked about at the last meeting about being put in there, on 125, there was a deposit for $72,006.71. So that's for the gateway signage. And so that account, as it stands, has 127,529 in it.
Now, which account is,
This is the DDA account. This is the one that started out with the city giving $50,000 to, and then recently, it's not any of the stuff I gave you.
okay, all right.
And then recently, that $72,000 was added, so there's 127 in there now. But, there's only been 3 things that have happened to it this year, so there's not a lot of activity in it. It's sitting there gaining interest right now,
Whole lot of interest.
Yeah,
about $10 a month.
Any questions on the financials? Carl's the man, can answer them. If not, we'll move now to number 4, downtown development. Nothing there. Okay, we'll go down to number 5, old business. Welcome Center Roof Consultant. I guess that's our next item on the agenda, is that right?
Yes, sir. In your packet, well, at the last meeting, it was decided by the DDA to go out and find a roofing consultant to look at the Welcome Center roof and to decide if that was a better route for us to go as opposed to accepting the proposal from the Garland Group. And so, at the direction of the DDA, I did talk with Ray Lynn. They did recommend highly AP Ward Consulting, which I put into your packet. Mr. Ward and I talked 3 or 4 times about the project. He has all the information. He's been doing this for a considerable amount of time. He's done a considerable amount of work with other municipalities, private entities, the Board of Regents. He's done 3 or 4 colleges that he's done consulting work from. So he's pretty knowledgeable. And so we talked at length about the project. He said that he would do all the specs, manage the project from beginning to end. basically for the roofing portion, give us a turnkey product. He said that he could ensure a 20-year warranty on the roof. That's labor and materials. And he said that he felt almost 100% sure that he could bring it under $100,000. So,
Including his fees?
He will personally do the 20-year labor and material warranty?
well, it'll be through the manufacturer, and the manufacturer will
And if-
do the labor as well. So, it's a 2-year. Basically, what he says is a 2-year contractor warranty, and then after that, the manufacturer picks up the remainder of the years.
Right. And if, I mean, I know, not to belabor the point, I think the issue about the warranty and the materials, or the type of material being used, goes hand in hand. The material, and this is just in the research that I've been doing since we had our last meeting on this subject. The material that the other company was quoting us on is an asphalt-based material. So it's like thick felt paper with some kind of reinforcement in it, but it's still the asphalt-based material that degrades in sunlight and deteriorates. And, well, one of the gentlemen I was talking to about their material, he said, look, he said, I can give you a 100-year warranty if you pay me enough money. You know, so I think that's what it is, you know, when you buy any product, you can pay enough money that they'll guarantee it for a lifetime, or you can buy the one at actual cost and a reasonable cost and just count on replacing it. Most of the newer designed membranes, most of them only carry a 20-year warranty, but your price is half or around half of what this quote was. So even if you had to replace it, you got 40 years and you spent less money than you did on the one that had a 30-year warranty. The other thing is the one that really piqued my interest, and of course I'm not, you know, hadn't been authorized to get a bid on it, and I hadn't even told them where the building was. There's one company out there that uses, you know, some of the most cutting-edge technology in membranes, but they will fabricate a one-piece membrane to bring out and put on that roof, and then they just have to seal, you know, hot weld the corners and stuff. To me, that sounds like an awesome thing if they can do it for, you know, the price. I just gave them the square footage, and they didn't look at it. They don't even know where it's at. But I think it, you know, to let this roof consultant, is he going to get us, the reason I was going through all that, is he going to get us bids from different manufacturers?
Yeah, he will manage the roof project he'll do the specs, he'll accept the bid. Basically the same thing we did with Carroll Tomorrow with the hotel motel. They'll just bring a final recommendation back to the.
So once we hire him on for this, then we don't have a choice anymore. It'd be whatever he decides.
Well, in his roof specifications in his letter, it said that specifications will be non-proprietary, listing several roof manufacturers. So
Okay.
I don't know if he'll list that one that you mentioned. That kind of sounds specialized, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different flavors of roofing material out there that when in the proposal, or the proposal we were listening to in the last meeting, there were some acronyms in there that I wasn't familiar with, because I'm not a specialist in the roof, so I started checking them out. And yeah, it may be done that way to make it confusing for somebody to purchase a roof, but yeah, I think having this guy sounds like a good idea.
Chris, did Mr. Ward understand that, you know, a lot of the cost from my understanding of the other proposal was the fact that we're taking off 4 other at minimum. We don't even
Yeah.
know what's in there. And also the timbers that are under there are not go to Home Depot and replace the timbers.
I sent him the survey that we had done, the same one that y'all have seen. I sent him that, so he's aware of the conditions. He knows about the asbestos abatement. He knows all of the conditions that the roof is in. So
This
he's
could-
got the study.
This could really save us between $20,000 and $30,000 because they were,
Yeah. If he feels confident, they can come under 100,000. I mean, because in theory it was going to be 130,000 with Garland.
least,
So
at least.
Will he put this out to bid to local individuals? How is he going to?
He'll do it the same way we do it. I mean, we put it on the website, we put it on bid sites, and anybody that's qualified to bid, I mean, can bid on it. We did the same thing with the gateway signs, and we got, a local contractor, and we got people all the way up to North Carolina bidding on it.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, it's open to everyone who qualifies based on the specs.
Would this RFP be out on the city website as well as his personal website, or how is that going to work?
Well, I mean, it'll be advertised the same way we do all of our bids. So it will be on the city website, it'll be on the downtown website. We put it on the GMA website as well. I actually got a list of signed contractors from Noonan, and I emailed the link to all of them, invited them to bid on it. So, I mean, if you have people, you can send them the bid. I mean, you can send them the package to bid on. I mean, it's open to anybody that meets the qualifications.
Well, I have done some looking into it like Gary has, and the construction people that I've talked to all agreed that they were about double what the bid should have been. Now, this sounds like if he'll guarantee it's not to exceed $100,000, and he wants, 4% of the price for part of it and 2% the price for the other?
Right.
Or is he just estimating $100,000 out of the blue, how is he going to come up with his fee here?
Its fee is $6,000.
Oh, okay,
So
so
the-
that's fixed.
Yeah, so the roof design with plan, that's to do the specs, because you got to know, the people have to know what they're bidding on. So it's two parts of the contract. There's a specs part where he does all designs, this is the type of membrane the roof needs to be, these are the type of finishes, so on and so forth. And then the contract administration is actual getting the contract, selecting the contract, supervising the work, making sure that it's done. The second part is the part, to give or take better term, the part that Garland was going to. Garland doesn't actually do any of the work. They kind of monitor it, make sure it's done correctly. That's the second part of the contract. So he would do the specs and then turn around, make sure that it is installed correctly, and that it meets all of the guidelines. It's going to fit the 20-year warranty.
He lists the things that his observations will entail. It doesn't say anything about the quality of the material that they're using. So I don't know.
Well, I think I understood, though, that he would bring us the bid. I mean, we would have to approve the bid.
Okay, all right. What I'm basing a lot of my skepticism on is the recent asphalt job we've had in the city of Atlanta. And we had someone observing it that wasn't vested in how it turned out. Like Garland is vested in how the roof turns out. And these other people that are just observers aren't vested. And we've ended up with a subpar quality asphalt job, and I just don't want to see that happen on our roof over there.
Are you referring to the resurfacing here in the city right
Yes,
now?
yes.
Yes, that is a subpar job for
Yes.
sure.
And we did all the things properly, too. So, but the consultant, the person who put out the bid specs, the company that observed it, were not vested in it because it's not their material. And that's why I said, Garland is vested in that.
You say that Ray Lynn Associates actually recommended Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Ray Lynn is, one of the larger construction firms in West Georgia and certainly has just done multiple jobs for school districts and cities and so forth around. And Ray Fulford is a well-known guy. And I would be willing to accept his recommendation as to Mr. Ward and his ability and his ethical background.
Did they have anything to do with the library, Ray Lynn?
Pardon?
Did Ray Lynn have anything to do with the library?
I
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
They are building the new addition to Tanner, though.
I think Raylin did have part of that job on the library. It was grading and site prep is what they did.
Any questions? Comments?
I don't want to hold this thing up any longer than absolutely necessary. And I think if it goes out to reliable roofing companies that are bonded and everything like they should be, then I have no problem with this. And I think it can come in well under $100,000.
Is that a motion from Bill?
It is.
All right.
It's a motion.
Second.
Motion from Bill, a second by Gary, all in favor.
Motion to what, to hire this AP
Hire
Ward
the AP.
consultant? Yep.
All opposed?
I'm still for Garland.
Okay, so 4-1 then. All right. Moving on down to 2, Gateway Directional Sign Update. That must be Mr. Christopher's.
As aren't they all?
Pay the big money.
Yeah, I wish. Just to give you an update, Friday at 2 o'clock, was the deadline to receive bids for the Gateway Sign project. The finance director and I actually went through all the applications, did the checklist, which ones were complete, so we have that information. I'll be putting that together for the DDA to look at with the purpose of selecting the contractor. We had in the bid timeline to have a contractor selected by March the 8th, so we'll probably need to have a special call meeting to award that contract. I will say that as we expected, all the bids came in more than the 72,000 that we have. So we'll need to make some adjustments. Probably will have to be a phased type situation where phase 1 will be the first 72,000, and once we collect more revenue, then we'll do the phase 2 part. And I guess that kind of is contingent on the increase in the hotel motel tax. That increase is money that can be used to pay for stuff like gateway signs. So if that legislation does get dropped this week and passed, that would be where we would get the money to pay for phase 2 of the sign project.
So it'd be a quick call meeting. That'd be the only item on the.
Yeah, that'd be the only item.
Yeah. Chris will let us know on that then. Anything else on Gateway and directional signs?
That's it.
All right, move on down to number 6, new business. Well, we go on down to public comment. Larry, you got anything? Items for future agendas? Executive session, we're moving right along.
A quick one,
Quick executive
a
session.
quick one, yes.
All right, so we need to call.
Well, it's to discuss real estate, yeah.
So we need to have a motion to go into executive session, is that right? And that was made by Bill. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, second somewhere. Which one did you get? Gary, okay. All in favor? Okay, so we don't have to read